Mids win at 66-59. They get that second win of the season, and it's only November, joined by freshman Kyah Smith. And for you all as a team right now, every quarter, every possession is a moment of growth for this team. Knowing that this group went 1-29 a year ago, to win that second game already, just what does it mean for this team right now to build in such a positive fashion?
Oh my God, it's like no words. I'm like so excited. I know the team, Coach Taylor is excited. I know the girls from previous years are very excited. I'm very excited, so I'm happy.
You guys right now finding plenty of offense. The quality of shots tonight, though, much better after the first quarter for this team. What got going there from the second quarter on for you guys offensively?
Our team captain, Morgan, she always pulls us in and just like gathers us. I mean, she's a great leader, and I don't know, she's just like calms us all down on the court, so yeah.
You and Zanai in the backcourt right now, to play the way you are, only playing 4 games together. I imagine you guys have to think the sky is the limit for you all right now, as you guys are just really feeding off of each other.
Yeah.
You guys are going to get Tony back here soon.
I know, it's crazy.
I mean, I know that's got to be exciting. When you look at that, when you guys finally get all of your parts together, is it really exciting to think of just how good you guys can be?
Oh, I mean, we still have 3 years together, so I mean, I can't imagine what we're going to be like our senior year. I mean, I basically begged Z to come here, so I mean, I'm happy she's here, and yeah.
No doubt about that. Let's talk about, though, as a a year ago you're playing in high school basketball, and now you play on the college level. Are you seeing, what kind of differences are you seeing transitioning from high school to college so far?
Oh, they're stronger. They're so much stronger than like high school. They're faster. They're quicker. Probably about it. Yeah. Have
you surprised yourself though with how well you've adapted and played so far?
I mean, not really. I feel like I put in a lot of work, like with Coach Mar. I mean, all the coaches here. So I feel like what I'm doing out there is, translates for all like the practice I do.
Coach Taylor said you and I are alphas. I think we've established that in the first 4 games. But, establishing confidence and that aggressiveness, is that what it's all about, trying to establish yourself, prove to your teammates that, hey, we're ballers and we're here to play, we're here to win? Oh,
for sure. I mean, I feel like basketball is just all about confidence, and Coach Taylor right here, a great coach, and he just gives me like all the confidence in the world. Like when I got recruited by him, it was just like the first talk, I'll always remember that. It's just like how much he believed in me. It was just like, it gives me chills.
I saw you guys talking at halftime over here. It was just you and him on the bench. Just having those conversations, moments of growth. How important is it sometimes to just be a listener in situations like that?
Very important. I mean, I don't know a lot about. I mean, I know a little bit about basketball, but I mean, he's been doing this for so long. So, I mean, listening to Coach Taylor, he's coached at high-level basketball teams. So, I mean, yeah, it's good to get other advice from someone who's what you're talking about.
Congratulations on the win. We'll see you this weekend.
Thank you so much.
You got it. Kyah Smith joining us as the Mids win it here by a count of 66-59. Joined now by head coach Tim Taylor, thanking the fans for coming here tonight. Look, we talked before the game, and the quote was, Kyah and Zanai are alphas.
Yeah.
And they continue to play like it. But more importantly, you look at the game tonight. Zanai had the 5 turnovers virtually almost in a blink of an eye here in that first quarter. To see the growth come back from that and play over the last 3 quarters the way she played, obviously the way Kyah played as well. I mean, Tim, in the grand scheme of things, they're babies. They're freshmen.
Oh, yeah.
But confidence-wise, it's just next possession and let's go, it seems like.
Well, and that's what we keep talking about. And, that's something we as a staff have been really trying to do. And just, I'm laughing because you said confidence, is because that's what's on the board, like in there before the game. Play with confidence, trust your teammates, share the ball. We knew tonight it was going to be sharing the ball, but it was more sharing the ball to create drives. But what you and I talked about before the game, it doesn't matter whether Z turns it over 5 times, 6 times, or 0 times. She plays the same way for 40 minutes. She never stops, so you know what you're going to get. That's why she stays on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, at 20 of 31 between the two of them, and what I thought they did a great job of is after the early struggles, they started trying to get into the paint. They started to get to the higher quality of shot there, put a lot of the pressure on the defense. And look, let's face it, it's a lot easier to shoot from 2 than it is from 22 in this game. But just their IQ to say, hey, okay, wait a minute, this wasn't working. Let's try something else. they just continue to impress me every time I see them out here.
And they're going to grow. I mean, that's what people don't understand. It's like Kyah said, like, she doesn't know as much about college basketball. Like, she said to me, she's like, how do I get in lane? How do I know when to go? And that's what we were talking about at halftime. I'm like, sometimes what you've got to see, you have to see the lane. Mm-hmm. And once you see it, now you can't play with it. Like the one here at the end of the game, she's playing with it. She's got to learn that those gaps close a lot harder at the college game.
Right.
And that's what, Z is so direct. And that's like when you saw Tony is so direct and it goes through those gaps. Kai has more of a little finesse game, but she's going to grow and she's going to continue to get better.
I thought Passat and Holder really gave you some gigantic minutes in this game.
Yep. Well, look at it. Yes, it was 20-8. Okay, and then other than a few late three-pointers, I mean, we held them under 60 points for the next, 40 points in the next 3 quarters. It was on the defensive end that we won this game.
Yeah.
We can talk about all that we won, and then we managed the clock at the end of the game. With 4 minutes to go, we're up 14 or 12 or whatever it was. It's like we didn't need to really shoot the ball. Whereas against Mount St. Mary's, what were we doing? We took some quick shots when we were up, and now that's the piece of them growing.
The defensive end, though, in the first quarter, I thought Welts did a great job facilitating ball movement for Binghamton. They were moving the ball around. They were getting much easier shots. And then it just all of a sudden, 5 people started playing more cohesive on the defensive end for you. And again, a lot of those are young puppies that are doing that. So this is just the beginning of that process.
Oh, absolutely. And here's the thing that you got to think about. During that stretch in the second quarter when we were actually able to, we had a couple bad turnovers right there, or it would have been closer at halftime, and that's what we talked about. It was 4 freshmen on the court when we were making that run, and then Gia anchored the entire defense tonight. Like, she anchored everything. She took a charge. She had some block shots. She was talking. She was communicating. So it makes everybody's job a whole lot easier. They weren't able to get the ball inside as much. 2
wins in November. I mean, I know in the grand scheme of things, you just look at the marquee now and it says 2-2, and I know it's only November, but especially for the kids that returned from last year, it's a huge step.
Absolutely. It's just, the way we lost the Mountain game was, you and I talked about it. That's tough, especially for what they went through last year. So you're like, okay, when are they going to have to get a break? But ultimately what we talked about, you got to play until the end of the clock, and that's what they did tonight. And, right now I'm not as concerned about the wins. I know a lot of people are, but this is a really young team. I mean, and we said they're an exciting young team. You know what I'm saying? I think, and the best part about it is there's a lot more growth that can happen. There's a lot more growth that we can have with our freshmen, with our sophomores, even our seniors. I think Sydney Watts had a really good stretch right there in the third quarter that really helped. Those drives that she had finished in like that is, I don't know if she would have finished it like that last year. So her drives right there, she got us off to a really good start in the third quarter right there too.
And we talked about Marin Laritas before the game. And
what a great game.
Defensively, rebounding. I mean, she gave you all the floor categories.
Yep.
And that's part of the evolution as a player for her. The role has changed right now for her. She doesn't have to take as many shots as she did a year ago, but she's embraced the other parts of the game for you. And in the last 2 games, they've really been strong.
Yeah, and that's what I've been trying to say about, like right there I was telling her, she got some offensive rebounds, she got some defensive rebounds down here. She, the role last year, we had to put her in such a tough role where she had to carry the load every single night. And and that's hard to do for any team, especially a freshman. And what she's been able to do defensively in the second half, she was so much better. She struggled early in the first quarter, but after that she was locking up. She did not get beat. Now granted, these kids threw up a couple threes that she had hands up on, but I thought she played a great all-around game. And it doesn't come down to scoring. It's what are the little things that we talk about? What are the little things that we're going to do to win games? Are we going to take charges? Are we going to box out? I don't know if they have very many offensive rebounds either, to be honest with you. I'd have to look at the stat sheet. And Binghamton had 5 offensive rebounds. That's huge.
One and done makes it a lot easier, that's for sure. Appreciate the time. Happy Thanksgiving, and best of luck this weekend. 2 great opportunities here coming up against Quinnipiac and Abilene Christian. Appreciate the victory tonight.
Hey, to number 2. To all our fans and all the workers here, happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you on Saturday.